So we have a Young Living leader from Pennsylvania with a great story. Starting with the products in a mommy group and no interest in the business, she found herself sharing naturally all the way to the top. So let's dive into it all, up next. Hi there, Oil Family. I'm Brenton. This is The Leader's Instinct, a Team YL web series and podcast brought to you by TeamSense. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any daily content from cross-line leaders in the Young Living family. Today, we're featuring Annie in the YL Oil family from Pennsylvania. So let's jump right in. Hey Annie, thanks for taking the time. Let's start with a little intro. Feel free to introduce yourself and let everyone know how long you've been using Young Living products.
Hi, I am Annie Hauser and I am from Philadelphia. I live here with my husband and our two kiddos, and I've been using Young Living now for about 3.5 years.
And how did you first get introduced to Young Living?
So I heard about Young Living through a mommy group that I was in, and I just kept hearing about people talk about oils, and I thought that they were absolutely crazy because I had had oils before. They didn't do anything. So after hearing about these women talk about it in this mommy group over and over and over, I finally decided that I would actually research what the heck they were talking about and see what happened. So obviously once you start researching Young Living, it's pretty much a no-brainer, and it kind of just went from there.
And after you got started using the products, was there anything specific that sparked the interest in wanting to share and do the business side?
Yeah, so I had zero interest in ever doing the business, like ever. I thought it was like, I just had like such misconceptions about it. I thought it was like creepy, weird, like network marketing. Like I thought it was a pyramid scheme. I really did. I just had no clue that those were two different things. So I had a bunch of friends start asking me about why my children were so, or at least at the time, my son was such a great rested sleeper. And I was kind of telling them about all the things that we were doing, and they all just started to want to jump into the oil world as well. And at first I was like, yeah, no, I don't do that. And I sent them to my enroller. And she finally was like, it's like not what you think. My enroller is Echo Summerhill. She was like, it's not what you think at all. And you're basically doing the business already just by talking to your friends about it. So once she kind of told me that, I, again, started researching, and I realized I was completely wrong about what network marketing actually was, and that I truly was already actually doing it. So I just started to read everything I could and watch all the videos that our team had accessible about how to share in a really natural, authentic way and not be salesy and not have to like hold inventory and have like tons of parties and like all of that stuff. And once I did that, it just kind of rolled on.
Very cool. And as there's so many ways to share Young Living and no one right way, do you have a favorite sharing method that you like?
Yeah, I mean, that is the beauty of doing this business with Young Living, is literally there is no one way. You can do it however you want, whatever makes you happy, whatever like makes you really excited. And I think that is the best part. For me, what worked really well was sharing on social media to my friends and family, like to the people that I was already friends with and connected with on social media. And also I co-own a hair salon, and I still do hair a few hours a week now. And I still do it a few hours a week. And I was talking to my clients, like, and my friends there, and like people who already trusted me, and having classes at the salon was super helpful.
And how about consistently building new relationships to share Young Living with? Do you have any tips you like to share for how to consistently build new relationships?
I think for me, the biggest thing is being consistent, because if you're consistent, especially if you're sharing on social media, but also in person, if you're just consistently that person who uses oils and who uses these products, people start to know you as that person. So I have a ton of ways that I've built is really just people coming to me and saying, hey, I'm not interested in oils, but my sister is. Can I give her your number? And, of course, at this point, those people who said, I'm not interested in oils are now. But at the time, people just want to see consistency. They want to see that there's someone out there that's actually passionate about this and loves this and has the desire to teach on it. And I think the more consistent you are and the more that you show that you're that person, people start to think about you. The people that are at, the big box stores who think they have no interest in oils, but suddenly see them pop up at like Walmart, now are going to think, you know what, that Annie chick is always talking about these oils. She probably knows a lot more about these. Let me go talk to her. So I think your network is never, ever, ever tapped. I think that's impossible if you're consistent and you're getting yourself out there and continuing to use them and teach about them.
Love it. And once you've got those new relationships to share Young Living with, when it comes to actually inviting them to hear about Young Living, how do you like to inspire people to actually show up when you're inviting?
I think it's really important to tell your story and to be vulnerable when you're inviting someone to a class or an event or something that you're having. I think if you're inviting people to an event and saying, hey guys, I'm having an Essential Oil 101 class tomorrow, you should come. That doesn't teach anybody anything. That's not telling anybody why they should come to your class. If they don't know about oils, they have no idea why they should come to that class. They have no clue. But if you can relate to something that someone else might be experiencing, it's going to be different for everybody. But for me, that might look like, hey friends with small children, do you ever have days where you look at them and you're like, you're so cute, but you are driving me up the wall? Love them so much, but that's me. I've been putting stress away on all day long. I would love for you to come to my house tomorrow night. Let's hang out. We'll drink wine. We'll talk about how we are going to stay sane and like slather oils all over our children. You should come hang out with me. Like, people will read that who have small kids and be like, yeah, like sign me up. So it doesn't just have to be whether you have kids. Clearly you can do that for anything you're passionate about, anything that you kind of like speaks to your soul. But I think the point is you have to relate to people and you need to connect with people and you need to give them a reason to want to come to your class. They need to understand the value in the oils. So just telling them you're having a class is not going to do it.
And once you've invited them and they're there and interested, do you have a favorite type of sharing strategy? For example, using a script or more natural freestyle approach?
So when I teach a class in person especially, I think it's really important to be you and be authentically you. Your friends that are coming to your class don't necessarily want an expert. They want to hear you speak on how you use the oils and the products because they know you. So when I have a class, my classes are very laid back. My classes are, people come to my house. I don't have a lot of space. I have a tiny house. You're pretty much seeing it right now. Like, they sit on the couch or on chairs. I usually sit on the floor with my dog in my lap or a baby, and I take the starter kit and I share how I got started. I share my reservations at first when I got started. I'm really honest about that. I share how I started using them. I share that the starter kit is like the bomb and it's the only way to start. And that's just what you do. And then we go around and I literally just open up my starter kit and tell them how I use each oil and tell them how they're going to use each oil, show them the diffuser, pass it around, and like call it a day. Share about why I chose Young Living, but very laid back. If I don't know an answer to something, I say, I have no idea, but I will help you find out, and we go find out. So I think the more yourself you can be and the more you can just share your way, the better. You want to be relatable.
That's awesome. And for anyone who doesn't sign up right there on the day, how do you like to follow up with people who came to the class but didn't sign up?
For me, it's really important to get them into our education group because I think once you get someone into your education group, if you have one, they're seeing hundreds and thousands or even, 20 people. It doesn't have to be big. But they're seeing other people use and love these products that aren't just you. Sometimes I think when it's just you telling them about something, they may be interested, but they don't quite buy it yet. Whereas if they're seeing multiple people learn about these products, love them, and have testimonials about them, they're much more likely to jump in. So I get them in the education group. That is my number one tip.
And with that education, as health and wellness is all about that consistency, how do you like to inspire people to have that consistency and join Essential Rewards?
Yeah, so we talk about Essential Rewards like it is what everybody does because they should. And we don't make it a big deal. We keep it, we make it a big deal in that everyone does it, but not a big deal as it's this big complicated thing. We simplify it to the max. So when we talk about Essential Rewards, it's literally just when people sign up for their kit, we tell them about Essential Rewards. We tell them that they should grab a Thieves Cleaner and a Valor, and it's the bomb, and they're going to earn points back. And if they don't love it, then they'll just cancel it the next month. It's like no big deal. It's amazing, and they need to do it. So most people jump on Essential Rewards right from when they get their kit. If they don't, same thing, we educate on it just a ton in the group. We're always sharing about how if you're placing an order with Young Living, which you should be transfer buying, you should be getting all the normal products that you used to buy at the big box stores at Young Living now. Why would you leave your house if you don't have to? I mean, let's just be honest. But we just talk about it. We just insert Essential Rewards into everything. It's amazing. We simplify it. You get points back. You get free stuff. It's awesome. There's no commitment. You should be on it. It's crazy not to be. And I think the more you simplify things, people just jump on. When you complicate it and there's too many steps and there's too many rules, people get confused and they just say no. If it's too complicated, someone will just say no.
Very cool. And now that they're educated and on ER, how do you like to then inspire them to start sharing Young Living with others?
So one thing that we do is as soon as they get their kit, we send them a welcome email that talks about our group and the classes we're having and all sorts of stuff, link to our handbook, whatever it is. And then we say, okay, so just now that you have your kit, people are going to start asking you about it. So when your best friend or your mom asks how to get their oils, here's your link. You can just go ahead and have them click that. They'll sign up and Young Living will send you $50 as a thank you. It's super awesome and it'll totally start happening. And then I just attach their their pre-populated link with their member number in it. And that starts to plant the seed in people's brains that people are going to start asking you. I don't say if, I say when, to put that intentional language out there that people are going to start asking you about this. So we plant that seed right from the beginning. The other thing that we do is we talk about just sharing and how you're kind of not a very good friend if you're not like putting oils on your friends, like on your friends that need them, like be a good friend, share. And we also, anytime someone even asks about like, oh, my boss told me she might want to get an oil, we immediately put them in our business group and tag them in the pin post so that they can start learning all about the freedom and business and income opportunity and how easy it is to share. So they immediately go into the business group.
And if someone might want to share, but they're naturally a shy person, how do you like to inspire them to get out of their shell a little bit to share?
We try and give people a lot of tools that are already pre-made for them so that they really don't have to come up with it themselves. We give them scripts. We have class scripts. We have scripts on how to do your first post. And we talk a lot about being authentic. So I think once people realize that they can do this business in multiple different ways, they don't just have to do it in one way, it tends to bring people out of that shell a little bit more.
Got it. And once you really got the business going, was there any big aha moment where you really figured out how to get things rolling and duplicating to grow your business?
Yeah, I think for us, I think the biggest thing for me is that when I started focusing less on just helping my team and instead not worrying if someone from another team was using my class or my picture or my graphic, when I stopped caring about that stuff and just said, use whatever you want of my stuff. I don't care. Use anything that I put out there. The more oils we get into homes, the better. And focused my energy instead on helping everyone kind of grow and not worrying about all that little stuff. Our team exploded because it created this community vibe within our team that cross-line friendships are the best thing you can possibly do for yourself. So even within my own team, obviously there's plenty of cross-line people because they're cross-line to each other. Once we started that, everyone really took off because everyone helped each other. Everybody put their own ideas out there. Nobody felt like they were holding their ideas and their content too close to their chests. And that's when we really exploded, when we really just kind of, my favorite quote is "be a river, not a reservoir" from John Maxwell. So that really resonated for me.
Very nice. And was there any big fear or struggle that you had to overcome as you were starting to grow your YL business?
I think that my fear was always going to be like what people thought about me doing like a network marketing company, because I had such a negative connotation to that from the beginning. So for me, a lot of it was personal growth stuff of like getting over what people thought about me. It's not my business what people think about me. And in the end, like, not everyone's going to like me. And I tell my team that not everyone's going to like you either as a leader. You want everyone to like you, but they're just not. So if you don't worry about that and just be yourself and be true to yourself and know that you're not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay, that someone on your team who maybe doesn't relate to you is going to relate to someone else, and that's what you want. If you can get over that ego stuff and that pride stuff, you're so much better off. So that was a lot of personal growth for me.
And is there any common fear or struggle that you often find yourself helping many people overcome on your team?
I do think that I'm sure there's plenty of them, but one common thing that I think we notice as people grow is sort of what I was just saying, where their teams start to take off and they've cultivated all these amazing leaders. They've duplicated all these amazing leaders. And then they start to realize that their leaders are like doing awesome and like maybe not coming to them as much anymore as they used to. And that can be a pride thing. And we can start to feel like they don't need us anymore. Am I not worthy? Am I not good enough? And really, it's the opposite. It's you are a great leader. You are an amazing leader. You are a worthy leader. And you've duplicated amazing, great, and worthy leaders. And you need to be happy about that and like let your pride go and know that you're doing the right thing and that that's the goal in this, is duplicating other amazing leaders. So we talk about that a lot.
Love it. And as many people love to talk about IPAs or income producing activities, and everyone has a little bit of their own definition of what those are, do you have any favorites that you like to inspire your team to focus on in their daily life?
Yeah, I think focusing on enrolling people and educating people to get them on ER is the biggest IPA you can possibly do. So focusing on enrolling people and teaching classes and getting out there and teaching your people to enroll people by making it very simple for them. The simpler it is, the more people are going to do it. So simplify it down as like dumb as you possibly can, like dumb it down. Like my 4-year-old should be able to go enroll someone because like that's how much you have to simplify things. So if you really focus on enrolling people and then educating them on products, we educate on everything all the time. We educate on out-of-stock products as much as we educate on in-stock products, because when those out-of-stock products come back, everyone's going to want them because they've been learning about them the entire time. So I think those are two really, really important things. Your IPA should always grow your new members or grow sustainable OGV. Not quick, not sustainable OGV, like with crazy prizes that nobody can ever duplicate, but like sustainable OGV or new members.
Very cool. So if you could go back and start over today on your YL journey and business, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would change in order to climb the ranks faster?
Yes, I would tell people about the business because I didn't start like actively telling people that there was a business end until I was like platinum. Like I waited for people to come to me and then I introduced them to the business, which was bananas. Like bananas. So now I would absolutely like tell people about the business. Again, in your own authentic way, share about the freedom that the business has given you. It doesn't have to be pushy. That doesn't mean like go like message people and tell them you want them to join your team and all of that, like in a weird, creepy MLM way. It just means like share about it. Like, if you can go on a date night with your husband now because you are a star and you made enough money to just get a babysitter and to go on a date night, tell people that. Like, share about that freedom. That's huge. So don't be scared to do that.
Very nice. And on that topic, is there any advice that you'd give to someone at the beginning of their YL journey, wanting to grow their business and really break through the first few ranks?
I would say just start, because saying you're going to start, you're going to be saying you're going to start a year from now. And all the people that actually started are going to be much farther along. So actually just start doing it and be really consistent. You have to keep doing things consistently and keep showing up. You can't do things really consistently for a month and then fall off the face of the planet for 3 months. Like, you just have to be consistent the whole time, and it will happen if you just keep going. The early ranks are my favorite ranks. I say it all the time. Star is my favorite rank because it's the one where you realize, like, this is a real deal. Like, you're really, like, everyone hits star. Like, every Royal Crown Diamond has hit star before. So you just have to keep going because everybody has been in that same place.
Such good advice. You've provided so many great tips today. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you'd like to share with everyone today?
I think that one thing that people need to talk about more is going back to that, like, freedom piece and sharing the way that Young Living has changed your business or your life from the very beginning, because people need to understand that this is truly life-changing. Like, this is freedom. This can do things for you in your life in ways that you cannot even imagine, and it's residual. Like, it keeps happening, it keeps going. And I think people, once people really understand that, and that residual income piece, and that freedom piece of it, like, they will literally run through a brick wall to get to it. So I think the more that you can break that down and explain to people and have them see the big picture and the vision on it, and to take them on that journey with you the entire way, it's huge. And I think that's really motivating for people. I think if you wait to share about the freedoms that Young Living has given you until you're platinum, you've missed out on such a huge range of being able to take, sorry, my dog's here now, being able to take people with you on that journey and really inspire them from the beginning and show them that it can be done and that this is something that they need to run for. So I think that's important.
Love it. Well, this has been a real pleasure. You are a wonderful inspiration that all of our Crossline friends can learn from. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's been a real pleasure.
Awesome. That was great. Thanks. Those were, like, really awesome questions.
So our goal at TeamSense and the Leaders Instinct podcast is to provide as much value to the entire Team YL community to help bring Young Living essential oils into every home in the world. So YL family, that's it for this chat. As this content may be useful for someone on your team to hear or a crossline YL friend, it's over to you. Tag an oil friend below and go ahead and subscribe to this page. It really does help this channel out so all of our crossline oil friends can see this education too. I'm Brenton, and this has been The Leader's Instinct, a Team YL web series brought to you by TeamSense. Now let's all help each other climb the ranks faster, make more time for our why, and inspire others to wellness, purpose, and abundance. Thanks for listening.